TRACEY Lind Williams. It's something I wanted to do my whole life, ever since I left school. But then life took over, so I didn't do it until much later on. So I've been here 6 years now. No, it's what I always wanted to do. I learnt to knit when I was 3 and it became a passion. My grandmother taught me how to sew when I was 7 and I did very well at school with it. And it's something I've always wanted to do. But then, of course, I had other jobs that I've worked my whole life, and then I just decided if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. So 6 years ago, I just took a chance, and it's been good, really good, love it. My parents were born in Bangor as well. Lived here nearly all my life. I've got 3 sisters and a brother, and I've got 1 daughter and granddaughter. Been married for 33 years. Well, every single job's different. I mean, hems, they're all much of a muchness, so they sort of the same price for all of them. But when you're pricing a job, I've got to look and try and figure out how long it's going to take me to do it. Most of the time I get it right. Sometimes I get it wrong and spend 3 times longer than I expected. Not a lot you could do then, because I have to charge up front, because when I first started out, so many people didn't bother coming to pick their stuff up that I ended up with £3,500 worth of alterations, not clothes, but the work that I'd physically done in the first 6 months, never been picked up. So they're all in bin bags in storage, and I'd never been paid for them. Nearly put me out of business. So I then had to turn it around and charge people up front, and you find they'll come and pick them up then. Once they paid you, they'll come and get it. Yeah, but lots and lots and lots of stuff, including a wedding dress. I spent 28 hours on a wedding dress for this young lady because there was so much wrong with it, and she didn't bother coming to fetch it. So yes, that's what I have to do. But as far as charges go, I have to try and figure out or guess how long. Most things now I know exactly how long it takes, so I can charge accordingly. But there's still a few odd things that I haven't done before. You don't know until you've unpicked it and got inside. You don't know how much work or what the problem is, you know? Sometimes nice and easy, goes back together beautifully. Sometimes it just will not go back together, and then you have to start cutting it down and making it fit, you know? But yeah, most of the time it's fine. Most of the time I'm bang on with my charges. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, see you next week then.
Hang on, can you just take
Oh,
a
right.
Great, go on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a lovely day.
You too.
Everything that comes in on a certain day, I usually do it within a week. So if it comes in on Monday, then it goes out the week on Monday, Tuesday, week on Tuesday. So every evening I make sure that everything that I have to do that day is out ready for me to do, so I know mentally what I have to do the following day. My day usually starts about 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I open at 10 and close at 5, but I'm usually here much later. Yeah, so I get myself, I know what I'm going to do the following day, and I tend to begin with the bigger jobs and then work my way down to the, you know, the less difficult ones. All sorts of things. I mean, really, sewing, gluing, knitting, crochet, just repairing, all sorts of things come through the shop. Not just clothing, you know, people bring things, tents in. I've repaired tents for people, sailcloths, made cushion covers, curtains, small bits of upholstery, knitting things for people, you know. Yeah, so if I can get it under my machine, I can do it. This is for trousers. Really good things to do, but just fixing things. Yeah, the morning would have been a good morning for you when we had to do curtains. But I also know why you did like the top.
Yes. You have a nice holiday?
I did it.
Yeah.
Fantastic, thank you. How do I do this now? Because this is all nicely pressed. The rest of your fabric's in there. Just want to put I want to do something. There's quite a bit of cut off it, yes. Do you want to?
I'll put it over my arm, yeah.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah, because if you put it in the bag, it just goes. Oh, there. Thank you very much.
Okay then, thank you.
You have a lovely day.
Yeah, and you. Bye.
Thank you. Any dissatisfaction with customers? We all make mistakes now and again, but we correct them. You know what I mean? You can correct them. Yeah, not very often though. I got to say not very often, but yes. But I haven't had any dissatisfaction so far, as I know. No, nobody's come back to me anyway. But you never know. Touch wood. We're reorganising the shop at the moment, getting in some industrial machines because a lot of the stuff that's been asked of me is getting heavier duty. You know, the canvas and big heavy stuff. So yes, we've just got some new machines that are due to come in shortly, and we're going to be redecorating. So I'm trying to go a little bit more towards the upholstery side of things, so that people know that I'm doing, upholstery, all that type of stuff. Yeah. Memorable moments. Ooh, I suppose there's quite a few of them. It's what people ask you to do. Some things really ridiculous, really, really silly. Like a gentleman came in and he had 2 pairs of trousers and he said, these are a 30-inch waist, these are a 30-inch waist. I'm a 50-inch waist, can you sew both pairs together to make one? I said, don't talk soft. It's like, but yeah, people, memorable moments, I don't really know. I mean, I've won the window competition 3 years running. So I enjoy. There's been a few of them. I have been a few of them. I was repairing a lady's jacket and I put the iron on it and burnt a big hole through it. I wanted to cry. Anyway, I repaired it. And when she came, I was worried so much, I thought I'll just buy her a new jacket. And when she came back, oh, don't worry, she says it's about 10 years old. I only use it for walking the dog. So I'd had a terrible time. But yeah, there are times when I literally want to just run out the back door and lock up and not come back. Usually with some of the massive big jobs, and you just think, why did I take this on? Why did I say yes? But you get them done eventually. Yeah, different every month, really. It's not really I could have a really quiet month or a really, really busy month. Most of the time, it's quite busy. 20 and 40. Yeah, about 40, I'd say. Yeah, roughly. Most days, yeah. Even on when the weather's really bad and I think I've got a lot to do, good, it'll be quiet today. It never is. I think they'll crawl over broken glass to get in here.
No, I'm alright, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Bye.
And unfortunately, they've stopped. They seem to have stopped doing needlework classes in schools now. And because there seems to be a whole generation out there that just can't sew, they can't put a button on, they're not getting taught at home either. So it's just having somebody to teach them, really. You know, to start that, but with having nobody at home to teach them, and then they're not doing it in school either. It's very difficult, actually, I think, for a lot of the youngsters now to get into the trade, to get into the sewing trade. But it's an amazing thing to do. You know, you're never bored. Tailoring men's suits, I think, and maybe wedding dresses. Wedding dresses, they're huge jobs. I mean, making something sometimes is easier than altering it, you know? A lot of the dresses now, they have beads and diamantes and they're all stuck on with glue and, you know, you can't sew through them, so you have to try and remove them carefully before you can do the job and then glue them all back on again or sew them all back on again afterwards. So I'd say wedding dresses, top of the list, is the most difficult, followed by tailoring men's suits, because once something's put together, you can't move a pocket because there's a hole there already. You can't move a buttonhole because the hole's already been made. So they're a lot harder. You have to try and work around them all. Yeah, I'd say they were probably the most difficult. I love to do it. I love creating. Knitting is my passion. Knitting, rather, more than sewing. I love creating my own knitwear, which I do all the time. Everything you see in the shop I've made, and I've designed myself. So I just love doing it. Now my mum was quite strict, but only because keep us all in line. Yes, but yeah. I mean, really, I was a pretty good girl. I liked to knit and I liked to sew and I liked to paint and I liked to do pottery. So that was quite easy, really, because that's all I wanted to do. Knitting. I'm actually working my hobby. Actually, it's great. I love it. I'm happy every morning. No, never get bored. And even when I finish work down here, we live upstairs, and I'll go upstairs and I'll start knitting as soon as I finish here. I count my hands. I just all the time. Yeah, I don't own a mobile phone, and everybody says, "What?" I say, "Well, I think you have to be mobile to own a mobile phone." But I have no time really to go on it. So don't do Facebook or anything like that. So it's for me. I just no time. So I've got a friend who helps me out. She's got a full-time job though, so she can help me out a couple of days. And then I've got another friend who's retired who sometimes does, if I'm really busy, she'll come and help me do, she'll come in a day, I'll give me a hand. But that's it really. Most of it I do on my own. So I am the business, if you know what I mean. So to open up another shop for me would be so difficult because I couldn't split myself, into two places. And because I wear pants, that's absolutely necessary, is it?
Yeah.
Because you're only going to work in them?
Yeah.
No fashion show. I don't think it's going to work like that. Can you see this? It's not going to fit in properly. And the problem is, can you see where she's pinned there?
Yeah.
Yes? Well, to be unpicked before I could do them.
Okay.
So we're going to have to unpick the whole thing because I can't sew through that. Can you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's just the crotch. It's just...
Yeah, she normally doesn't do that. She just does the legs there. She doesn't touch that.
Yeah, but even stitching there, really, you won't be able to do that. I'd have to unpick the whole lot. I couldn't stitch there because it's too close to the actual seam. So you wouldn't be able to stitch it and overlock it because, like I said, it's way, way too close. That's not going to work like that. Yeah, but that's what does tend to happen. Because this is where you're going to get the bother. I think from there, they should be okay.
Yeah.
And then what does she do with the seams afterwards? Obviously, she doesn't top stitch them like that. No, they're just a normal seam. Okay, well look, if we do it, I mean, this is what I was most concerned about. I'm sure I can do it from there down. All right, so leave these with me then.
Yeah.
We'll get these done, and then you can. If you come back next Saturday, and if you bring the other pair, and then if you like what I've done here, then you can leave the other pair as well.
Yeah. Fine. What time do you shop?
2. Okay, so it's the 7th of the 3rd, 20. Okay, so it's going to be 15 for that.
Cool. What's that now?
Please, yeah. So I'll put it down for next Saturday then. They'll be ready by Saturday. Would you prefer Friday or Saturday all right?
Whenever.
I'm not here.
I'll come on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
There you go. And then if you're happy with what I've done there, then you can leave the other pair, can't you?
Yeah.
And I'll do them then. No problem. Yeah, that crotch bit I was a bit concerned about there. I thought, wow, but that could end up being so wide that it would feel really uncomfortable. Yeah. But if she doesn't normally do that, now I understand.
Yeah, it's just the legs. It is.
Okay, my dear, no problem. They don't really go up that often. I mean, my threads here now, the ones I sell, they're by Guttermans, and they dictate how much you sell them for. You can't sell them any less or any more. And they don't go up every year, maybe every 2 years, and only by pennies, And really, it's only threads and zips, and that's it. There's not a real... I mean, I do a lot of recycling here. I use cut-offs when I hem jeans. I keep all the bits that I cut off, then I use those bits to make my own patches. You can take a cuff. I had an example. I took a cuff off one gentleman's coat. He didn't like the knitted cuffs. Took them off, and about 3 days later, a young lad from the university came in with a sweatshirt. and he worked in the lab, and he burnt his cuffs. And he said, "Can you do anything?" So I put the cuffs off the man's jackets onto this gentleman's sweatshirt. So I do a lot of, so it doesn't really, my expenditure isn't huge, if you know what I mean, except for zips and thread really. But other than that, my expenditure isn't huge because it's my time that people are paying for, you know. But yeah, I've lots of recycling here in Manchester, and they're a warehouse. So usually I could just, you know, go online and order them from them, anything I need. But I just tend to order things as I need it, you know. So, but I try to put my order all at the end of the week so they can put it in one pack for me, unless it's an emergency and somebody needs it much quicker. Yeah, I'd like to make a man's suit. I would. A really nice, cool man's suit. I would love to do that. And when I get the time, I will one day. Yeah. Just needing the time to do it.